Good evening, parents, grandparents, students. Welcome to our cross-campus strings concert, not held every year, but held as often as possible, so that we all can feel the power of strings from grade 4 all the way up to grade 12 at St. Michael's University School. So you will see by your program that we do a chronological order. The students you see in front of you right now, the grade 4 students, started their instruments in September. Some of them had never done music before, others had, so it was a grand mixture. By the end of October, we were playing Hot Cross Buns and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and we were actually reading notes from manuscript. Then we had our first concert at the end of November, and it was pretty successful. They were surprised at themselves, but it was all in unison. The next big step was to add some harmony. So tonight you're going to hear in rustic dance a fair number of rhythmic unisons, but a little bit of harmony. And in sonatine for strings, you'll hear some part writing and a little tiny fugue. I'm always extremely envious of my colleagues in the band department. All they have to tune is one note. But when I'm on holiday, this is the part, the tuning part is what I do not miss at all. However, I think we did pretty well just now. So I like to put grade 5 and grade 6 string students together at least sometime during the year so they can feel, first of all, the power of being a part of a large string ensemble, but second of all, that they can feel the transition between junior and middle school. So in February, a couple of months ago, this group rehearsed the pieces that you're going to hear tonight. And then, very recently, we just brushed them up. We brought them out from the back of our binder and put them together for tonight's concert. The rondo is exactly what it says, a tune that goes around and around and around. But, cleverly, the composers added an unusual note for the key of G major. He adds an E flat every now and then. In the danza, apparently a dance from Puerto Rico originally, the danza starts very expressively, and the students get to count long whole notes, which they discover is just a touch tricky. But then it livens up. So you'll hear danza second and rondo for strings first. So the more senior people in the strings program in terms of middle school environment, grade 7s and 8s rehearse together quite often in the course of a 10-day cycle because they are the core of the orchestra that plays at the closing ceremonies. And it's logical to put the grade 7s and 8s together just because transitioning is easier that way. I find they support each other a lot, and I move the students around in the seating plans so that they get to sit with different people along the way. So the Carnival of the Animals was actually Mr. Saint-Saëns' effort at creating humor in music. It's a tricky thing to do, to create humor in music. And he chose to put into musical pictures animals that he was fond of. In one of the movements of Carnival of the Animals, he even celebrates the tortoise. And he uses the can-can in an adagio version to celebrate the tortoise. And it's rather an unusual piece to play. The three pieces that we've chosen to play for you regarding the lions, fish in an aquarium, and fossils just seem to highlight for this group some of the interesting little techniques that I thought they were ready to learn. They even are going to add some poetry, so you will hear 3 students speak a poem before each movement that we play. I will have to wait for them to sit down again before we start, so everyone be patient. We have a percussion section in this ensemble, but the percussion section is mostly from the senior school, but one of them moved through the junior and the middle school and played violin and percussion along the way. Timothy Bernston is here for us tonight because Alice could not be with us, and he's filling in very admirably. And Jenny Kim on the flute is a grade 11 student of Mr. Reed's. The pianist is Carmen Say, who's a grade 7 violinist. So we'll get started, but remember there's poetry first.
The majestic beast roars, the lion jumps and soars, moving through the crowd, his booming roar so loud. He pounces with legs spread, the royal crown sits upon his head. The animals look in awe, for they know he is the law. The lion marches royally, the others follow him loyally, for the lion is the king.
The sun reflects upon the glistening water. Calmly, fish appear from their peaceful slumber. A new day is open with possibilities. Tails and fins flutter furiously. Curious children stop by, marveling at the rainbow in the sky. Swirling in the tank, each fish goes by, and hopes and dreams fill their minds of all those who pass by the aquarium.
At midnight, in the museum hall, the fossils gathered for a ball. There were no drums or saxophones, but just the clatter of their bones. A rolling, rattling, carefree circus of mammoth polkas and mazurkas. Pterodactyls and brontosauruses sang ghostly, prehistoric choruses. Amid the mastodonic wassail, I caught the eye of one small fossil. "Cheer up, sad world," he said and winked. "It's kind of fun to be extinct."
When I had the great experience of being in the National Youth Orchestra of Canada on my cello, one of the first pieces I learned in the first session was Mahler's First Symphony, an absolutely brilliant piece of writing. So when I found an arrangement of the second movement of the symphony, I bought it and waited until the right group came along for us to learn it. It's an absolutely great piece. And the Ländler, I looked it up. It says slow waltz in many of the sources I found, but Mahler didn't want that. Mahler gave us a metronome marking. Mahler wanted us to play it with energy. So this Ländler that you're going to hear has that extra bit of adrenaline in it. Another little context I can add for you. Mahler wrote the Songs of a Wayfarer to match the musical fabric of his First Symphony. The Songs of the Wayfarer are not used in the second movement, but certainly the first and the fourth movement. And a wayfarer, in his view, was someone who travels the world.